I have decision-making OCD, aka optimization OCD, and I am, per brand, obsessing about a decision, and obsessing is absolutely the word for it. So yeah, the decision is I'm going to be going to Yosemite, going on a backpacking trip, and I can go next week or I can go in 4 weeks. And there are a lot of pros and cons for each of these options. Next week, the weather is going to be perfect in the higher elevation regions I'm going to be in. If I wait a month, weather is unknown. Probably will be nice, but there's no guarantee. There's a risk of wildfire smoke in a month. Right now, there's no wildfire smoke. Of course, a wildfire could break out tonight, and that could change the equation. There's which time of year is more crowded, and water sources along my route, and, you know, a dozen other variables, and then travel routing, because I have a gig near there in September, and I don't now. And then I don't really love New York in August, so might as well go there now, but blah, 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 rehearsal schedule, and... And so this is what my brain wants to do, is process all these variables, parse them out, tease them out, figure out the right answer. And if my brain could do this, there wouldn't be a problem. But clearly, if my brain could do this, I would have done it already. I've spent many hours looking at plane tickets, looking at weather reports, doing all the things that I know are my compulsions. These are my compulsions, unquestionably. For people without OCD, these may be fine, but for me, these are compulsions. And they're playing into the delusion, and I know it's a delusion, that if I gather enough data, I'll figure out the right decision. And of course, really what I want is to feel a certain way. That's what optimization OCD, and I think probably every form of OCD, is ultimately about. On the surface, we're trying to ensure a certain outcome. I'm trying to make sure I've made the perfect decision. Maybe for you, it's trying to make sure you're perfectly clean, or you feel perfectly safe, or you're perfectly sure that you didn't have a taboo thought. But really, it's about getting this feeling of safety. And I think that feeling, that good feeling, that right feeling, is particularly elusive for me right now because I'm heartbroken. I had a very significant romantic relationship end about 6 months ago. And yeah, it's a deep heartbreak. And so I think part of why the OCD is coming in so strongly is it's saying, hey, if we just figure out the right decision, everything will be perfect. You won't be in pain right now. So you've got to figure it out. And of course, I know all this because I'm telling you all this, and I've been telling myself all this for the past 24 hours, and yet here I am, unwilling to make this decision, choosing to be in this increasingly intense suffering rather than incur the slight increase in pain, because this is the thing, is I am suffering a lot now, but when I make the decision, my suffering will increase for a little bit, a few hours probably. But some part of me, yeah, it's not willing to let this go. So, yeah, this is what my OCD looks like in real time. And I will make the decision, and I will move on with my life. And I do have more and more recovery, and I am in this place less and less frequently, but when I'm in it, it is still the most intense, sheer hell I've ever known. So, yeah, self-compassion. If nothing else, self-compassion.